Hello Leo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the career and financial energy for the sign of Leo for the month of August. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Be careful of the scammers in the comments section. They're coming back again. So just be aware of that. I don't do personal readings. Also, I'm using the Gilded Tarot, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Make sure everything's in view here, and then we'll get right into it. All right. We'll also take 3 of these Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. And I think we might just shift it over here a little bit, and okay. Energy on the bottom, you have the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands is really a card of competition. It's possible that some of you are dealing with a workplace dispute. It's possible that some of you are some of you could be in the running for some type of higher position or maybe even a job raise, and it may mean that you're in the running, meaning that there are other people involved here. It's also possible that you are kind of dealing with just competition generally in the workplace. 7 of Wands really asks you to kind of stand your ground, stand on your own 2 feet, and if there's something that you truly believe in, to not back down from that and to not allow anybody to sort of knock you off your path. Especially if it's like one of these situations where you're not doing anything wrong or like morally or ethically wrong. It's like one of those things where you can stick up for yourself, right? And that's kind of the energy of the 7 of Wands for sure. Now in the overall situation, you do have this 10 of Wands as well, which is really a card of burden. Okay, so some of you are working very hard here at this time. It's like maybe you have more on your plate than usual, or you just have a lot of work here with the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. It's also, some of you may feel like you're carrying the load or shouldering the load at work, and like maybe you're doing the same work as like 3 people when like there are other people in your job who are maybe doing like the equivalent of 1 person's worth of work, if that makes sense. Maybe you're wearing 3 hats when everybody else wears 1 hat. Something like that here with the 10 of Wands. The reason being is because the 10 of Wands suggests that you are experienced. It suggests that you know what you're doing. Each one of the wands that they are carrying represents knowledge gained or experience earned along the way. And so it does say that, you have sort of, this isn't your first rodeo, so to speak. You kind of have earned the position that you're in, you're knowledgeable, so forth and so on type of energy. And, it is possible. I think that some of you are like, okay, I've been here for a while, or I do more than other people. And so it's like some of you may be saying, is it time that we talk about what's next for me within the organization, or what's next for me generally at a place? I do think that some of you are maybe considering that or contemplating having that conversation or something like that here. Now, in the beginning of the month, you have the 4 of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups, and you have the Death card. So this 4 of Swords represents rest, recovery, recuperation. And actually in other illustrations, this person is praying. And that can talk about just needing to sort of take a moment to get clear on your vision, get clear on where you want to go and where you want to be in this case, career life, in your work or financial life here. 4 of Swords comes forward after the challenge of the 3 of Swords card, which you can see on the banner above. The 3 of Swords represents heartbreak, separation, or removing something, or it could even be emotional releasing in your life. I do think that there's been an event here with the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups talks about some type of event related to happiness or even emotions generally. The Knight of Cups can also talk about creative vision, creating a vision for yourself, and also maybe your creativity, some type of event happening in those areas here. So with the 4 of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Death card, it's almost like some of you, it's almost like I'm feeling like maybe some of you have connected with some of you have connected with this idea of needing to make some changes or needing to embrace a transformation in your life. The Death card represents a transformation. It represents this idea of rebirth. It's actually a very good card. I know it's like counterintuitive, but the Death card really is a necessary part of the hero's journey through the major arcana, because at some point, think about it this way: the card that comes before the Death card is the Hanging Man, and the Hanging Man's not really doing much except contemplating. And so what the Hanging Man really needs to do is embrace the transformation of the Death card. Essentially, the Hanging Man can't move forward without the Death card. And so the point being is, like, at some point, I think what's going on here, maybe at the beginning of the month, maybe in the past, at some point, some of you are like, okay, like, when is this change going to happen? Where is it going to happen? What can I do to best make this come forward? And again, this change could be around, like, getting serious about where you want to go in your career. It could be getting serious about, I think that there's something here about you, like, giving a lot to the organization that you're a part of or the workplace that you're a part of. And some of you are just like, okay, what's next? In the beginning of the month, or in the middle of the month here, you have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. So you're picking up steam here towards the middle at some point, because Wands is a suit of work, career, enterprise. This middle column is all Wands. So that's definitely significant. It's like you're definitely carrying a heavy burden here in the workplace or where you work. And this Knight of Wands says that, again, you have two knights here. So knights represent events. And when I get two or more knights, it means that it's potentially a busy period of time for you. This Knight of Wands typically comes forward around moving. Like you may move zip code, may move residence, might move to a new location. But it can also talk about movement and work, because obviously Wands is about work. And it says that you're a true maverick. Okay, you're a true maverick. There's a reason why you are being chosen here, being asked to carry a heavy load, because you can sort of keep all the plates in the air. You probably have multiple skills, multiple disciplines. You're probably somebody who's capable of wearing 3 or more hats in the workplace. That's this idea of the Knight of Wands. And so that's kind of what I think some of you are recognizing that. And maybe, you do have an amazing ending to this reading, so it's possible that somebody else would recognize that as well. It is interesting that we have competition here on the bottom, which is like, it's interesting because it's possible that, knights can be people as well. They can also be people that show up. It could be an aspect of yourself, or it could be a person, or it could be an event. So it is possible that some of you are like, maybe you're the Knight of Wands because you're a fire sign, and then also you're dealing with this Knight of Cups energy, which could be another person. You could be in competition with another person, but it's like maybe some of you are like laying out like the plan, or you're like laying out the argument for why like you should be the one who gets the, I don't know, let's just say director position, or you're the one who gets the raise, or whatever the case. Like some of you may be doing that type of work. Obviously, do what's right for you. Don't put yourself in harm of don't put yourself in a bad position at your workplace, but that can certainly be the case. Then you have this Four of Wands as well. Four of Wands is about your foundations and achievements in a career and financial situation. It's also about stability. It can bring about a new start as well. And, there could certainly be a new start forming here for you. I don't know if this will be moving. I mean, you do have the Knight of Wands, which could be see you moving. I want to get some clarity here from this tarot deck to see some more. But in the future, you have the 10 of Pentacles, you have the 7 of Pentacles, and you have the 10 of Cups. So we have 3 10s here. 10s in tarot represent completions. You have 3 of 4 total 10s, which is significant for sure. And so you are completing something important here in terms of your career or financial situation in this month. I definitely really like that for you. The 10 of Pentacles is this like feeling of abundance in your life. It's one of the most abundant cards in the tarot. It's the sort of reward that you get for having gone through the journey of the 10 of Pentacles, which in this case, again, this could be around pay bump. This could be around some type of like long-term investment that you've been in paying off here, because you have the Seven of Pentacles. You can see that this person has sort of grown this tree, and these pentacles have been sort of providing them with fruit, we could say, over time that allows them to sort of achieve their long-term financial goals. They're also contemplating a new start or a new direction. They're asking themselves, should I take the harvest now or should I go somewhere else? And should I take the harvest now and go somewhere else, or should I allow the harvest to sort of keep growing? Some of you may be like deciding, like there might be something about like retirement accounts. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't give financial advice, but it's like potentially some of you are thinking about like what to do with your accounts or something like that here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, but it does look good in those areas. It's also possible that some of you are like, maybe there's like stock options or there's something like this here. You have the Ten of Cups as well, which is like this idea of windfalls of happiness. It's one of the happiest cards to find in the tarot. It's also a card of abundance because you can see the house in the background. They own the home behind them. It's possible that this investment is real estate related. It's possible that you've owned your home for some time and maybe there's equity or something like this here. It's also possible that, like, if you're in this position at work where you're like, okay, when am I going to get the upgrade or get the raise? It's because some of you may want to make an investment here in the future as well, and the extra money or whatever it is might help you with that. That could certainly be the case as well. So let's go ahead and let's see what we have in these Kipper cards. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, as less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. All right, so you have official person, concern, and gift. Well, this is very clearly spelling out some type of bonus, potentially, if this is something that you're in the running for. But the official person is my human resources card. Obviously you have to go through human resources. This is in the United States. I don't know, I can't speak for other areas of the world, but in the United States you have to go through human resources to get your bonus, which the gift would be like a bonus. It wouldn't be a crazy amount, but it would be like a bonus or whatever it is, maybe a higher pay bump or whatever. There is concern in the middle in between these two. So this could be concern from you, like maybe you're concerned that you're not going to get it, or it could be concern from the organization's perspective that they don't have enough to do it, to make it happen, right? Something like that here, like maybe there's just, I don't know. That could also be the case. There's like a lot of things going on global. I'm not gonna like turn this into CNBC here, but there's like a lot of things going on in in the global economy here. So it is there's something like that going on here. But I will say, if I'm just going by the strict definitions here of the cards, definitely amazing abundance here in the future for you with 2 tens and a 7 of Pentacles. So there's something to consider. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. You have the Well, which is an oracle card in this deck. You have the 7 of Wands. You have the 2 of Swords. You have the Ace of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Strength card. Okay, so the Strength card is your energy. Okay, it's the energy of Leo. Here you can see that this person has their hand on the lion, and it takes a strong person to be brave enough to put their hand on a lion. The Strength card is about overcoming internal obstacles. It's about bravery. It's about confidence, courageousness, and it's you. Most importantly, it's your energy. Something that you can't see here because you are below the 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords, there's blindfold energy going on. This might be about communication. Swords represents communication in tarot. You have the 7 of Wands twice. There's competition here. It's very clear. It could be for, vying for a position that you may have applied for, or vying for some type of upgrade or bonus or something here. There's a competitive energy here with the 7 of Wands showing up twice, and the Knight of Pentacles, which that's 3 nights now in this reading, which is means that there's just a lot of things going on in your career life this month. There's going to be a busy period of time, and it looks pretty good. Knight of Pentacles represents results after having worked hard for something. Ace of Wands is the card you want if you want to physically start something. In the tarot, it's like the catalyst. It's like the initial spark that eventually builds up into something big. It's a perfect card for starting businesses. And the Well is this idea, it's just, I'm intuitively reading it because it's like an oracle card and I'm forgetting the exact definition, but it's this like pool of energy that you can sort of draw from here. And I'm getting this idea of like this pool of energy that you can sort of draw inspiration from. And I think it also has to do with generally just your energy levels, because you have the Four of Swords with it, which is the Four of Swords about rest, recovery. So this is an exciting reading. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, do hit the like button, subscribe, and I really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.